You know, it's a saying that sometimes it's usually your own, or it's something might be someone right underneath your nose. Well, this will definitely describe Attorney General Eric Schneiderman the most because he has now been accused of domestic violence. And what's crazy about the whole thing is this guy is a huge Me Too, times up, whatever you want to call him, supporter. They say he's a champion for those organizations or those groups because I don't really consider them an organization. I barely acknowledge them as a group. I actually conducted a poll on my Twitter account a couple days ago, and I said, which groups do you feel is that which do you feel you cannot be taken seriously? It was between Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, and Me Too, times up. All Lives Matter did have the most votes, but not by much because Me Too, times up was a close second. Then Blue Lives Matter and Black Lives Matter was dead last. So that, and the thing is, the votes are pretty much anonymous. So I don't know who is voting for them. And I left the hashtag to each one so they could be more widespread. And they had a lot of feedback. I can tell by the ranges and votes that were received. But anyway. So, one of their own, a male supporter, has been accused of domestic violence against women. The same women that are targeting what seems to be mostly black men. After all, they said their biggest win in conviction was Bill Cosby. When you thought their biggest conviction, or hopefully which could have been brought to justice, would have been Harvey Weinstein, since this all kicked off with him. But that definitely wasn't the case. They said that this man choked, slammed, slapped, and did a whole bunch of other things to 4 women, because it was 4 women that came out and accused him of this, of these acts. So harshly, in fact, that he ended up having to step down from his position. They spent all this time doing ambulance chases and witch hunts, and they got this guy right underneath their nose. Now, right now, it's just, and everything's in alleged stages, but it was enough for him to step down and resign from his position. So either what he did is true, or he's doing this to save face until all of this, and hopefully for him, blows over. Let me go ahead and read this article. New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman, who positioned himself as the combatant of sexual harassment and abuse in the Me Too era, and a major opponent of President Donald Trump, abruptly announced his resignation Monday after 4 women accused him of physical violence and illicit drug and alcohol use. Schneiderman, a Democrat, stepped down hours after a New Yorker article was published Monday evening detailing allegations after that he repeatedly slapped, choked, and degraded women with whom he had been romantic. The article was based on similar but separate stories from 4 women who had relationship or encounters with the state attorney general. All 4 accused Schneiderman of striking them in various ways, with at least 3 of them saying Schneiderman slapped them forcefully across the face and 2 saying he choked them. Schneiderman denied ever assaulting anyone, but said he would step down at the close of business Tuesday. In the last several hours, serious allegations, which I strongly contest, have been made against me, Schneiderman said in a statement around 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time. While these allegations are unrelated to my professional conduct or the operations of the office, they will effectively prevent me from leading the office work at this critical time. 2 of the women, Michelle Manning Barish and Tanya Salvaratim, I can't pronounce her last name, told their stories on the record, while a third spoke under the condition of anonymity, and a 4th told her story to Manning Barish and the other woman whose name I can't pronounce. Manning Barish told the New Yorker that she and Schneiderman had been clothed and getting ready for bed after drinking one night when he backed her to the edge of the bed before abruptly slapping and choking her. All of a sudden, he just slapped me open-handed with great force across the face, landing the blow directly onto my ear. This is from her Twitter account. Says, after the most difficult month of my life, I spoke up. For my daughter and for all women, I could not remain silent and encourage other women to be brave for me. I could not. The other woman also told the New Yorker that Schneiderman had slapped her, leading her to seek medical treatment for her ear. In an initial statement before announcing his resignation, Schneiderman denied committing assault, but acknowledged he had engaged in role-playing and other consensual sexual activity. Something told me that's what he was going to pull up out of his ass about this being role-playing. I have not assaulted anyone, he said. I have never engaged in non-consensual sex, which is a line I would not cross. Governor Andrew Cuomo, Senator Kristen Gillibrand, New York GOP Chairman Ed Cox, and Manny Alessandro, Schneiderman's Republican opponent, had all called on Schneiderman to step down within hours of the article posted, as did Ultraviolet, a women's advocacy group. In a statement, Cuomo, a Democrat like Schneiderman and Gillibrand, said he would soon ask a district attorney to investigate the allegations. My personal opinion is that given the damning pattern of facts and corroboration laid out in the article, I do not believe it is possible for Eric Schneiderman to continue to serve as Attorney General, and for the good of the office, he should resign. Schneiderman had positioned himself as a champion in the Me Too movement, suing Harvey Weinstein and the Weinstein Company in the wake of sexual harassment scandal that spurred a national reckoning over the way men treat women. The Attorney General was also in the midst of a review of the Manhattan District Attorney Cy Vance handling of a sexual assault complaint against Weinstein. Schneiderman received an official referral for the review from Cuomo late last month. Every New Yorker has a right to a workplace free of sexual harassment, intimidation, and fear, Schneiderman said when he filed the Weinstein lawsuit in February. It will be up to state lawmakers to fill the remainder of Schneiderman's term, which runs through the end of the year. The state legislature will vote to name his successor, which essentially puts him in the hands of Assembly Democrats, who control 104 of the legislature's 213 seats. A Manhattan resident, Schneiderman, age 63, was first elected in 2010 after previously serving as state senator. He led the Senate's expulsion of then-Senator Hiram Monserrat in 2010 when Monserrat was convicted of a misdemeanor after he was charged with slashing his girlfriend with glass. Now in his second term as Attorney General, Schneiderman has been vocal opponent of Trump, often touting the more than 100 actions his office has brought against Trump's administration. His dispute with Trump dates back to 2013 when Schneiderman sued Trump over his Trump University real estate seminar, a case that became a major issue in the 2016 presidential race and ultimately ended with a $25 million settlement. I'm going to skip past that part because that's just basically backstory. I don't need all of that. Well, this has become even more interesting. Now, either these women are lying, like most of them are, or they're indeed telling the truth. Why does some part of me want this to be true? Well, because it just shows right there that they had someone who was on their side, supposedly, to get brownie points. And probably to try to get him some on the side. You know, they say, this is what they say, that sympathy pussy is probably some of the best pussy you will ever get. Sorry for being vulgar to my listeners who never really hear me talk like that. But let's just be real here. Can we agree on that? So, I don't know if it's true or not. Hey, this is his business. It is not mine. I feel absolutely nothing for whatever comes out of this, because I feel absolutely nothing for these two so-called groups. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one.